You know who. It's why you're here. Zippity Do. Now, before you ask too many questions, allow me to explain who this fellow is. This happens to be a perfectly scientifically, mathematically, and anatomically correct representation of a human being, right down to the lack of arms. For, as you know, a certain percentage of human beings actually do not have arms. That's education. Vacuum! Q to the A! Oh yeah! Horatio Flash offers the following query. This man is as famous as the Harry Potter movies. Why isn't he on the telly? Don't mess with the fur slug. I heard it's pregnant. Babies for sale! Row fetus! Capital O, period, lowercase o. That wasn't a query at all. It was a statement! You are not Dr. Steele. Thank you for stating the obvious. So at what point in your detective investigation did you discover that every time I do a broadcast, I introduce myself, sir? I introduce myself as Agamemnon Tiberius Vacuum. Oh, Eureka! He's not Phineas Waldorf Steele, a name that is completely different than what he uses to introduce himself! Shut up, Dad! You cannot tell me what... I am in charge of my own future, Dad! That's a whoop. Hungral writes, I like your sofa. Looks very comfortable. Are you attached to it? If not, could I have it? What sofa? Do I look like I am attached to a sofa? I have 2 arms which are attached to my body, unlike some humans, as illustrated. What do they teach you in schools concerning comprehension? When you look at the screen, what do you see? A sofa. I am not a sofa, nor do I have a sofa attached to my body. Really? No! No! Belvedere! Oh, not again! Not again! Speak to me! Why? Ashley New Year offers us the following correspondence. A complete numbskull. Does he really think the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas routine is actually funny? I love that movie, The Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Excellent film. You know, Terry Gilliam is a genius, even though he's a filthy human. Did you know that some people here on Planet 3 actually worship him as a god? Even though it's against the law and punishable by death. Lothorium. They gather together in subterranean lairs, ingesting hallucinogenic drugs and watching such films as The Adventures of Baron Munchausen and the Jabberwocky, as they count away the hours to their summary execution. Hilarious. Dar Excalibur 42. Lord Agamemnon Tiberius Vacuum, of the glorious Vacuum Consortium. Could you be persuaded to tell the silly humans what Planet 3 is actually like? Why, certainly. There is no other subject which I like to discuss more than my home planet of 3. Except maybe the collection of other planets throughout the universe and the ruling of inferior species. Inferior, superior. That's called education. Well, how do I begin to describe my home planet 3? Well, it's made of minerals and elements and other elements that have fused together from more basic elements that were formed at the creation of the universe. They rolled around until they became a ball or a sphere. Said sphere rotates 360 degrees every year on an axis as it orbits or revolves around a gaseous ball, emitting immense radiation created by a process known as fusion. This gaseous fusion ball of energy is known as a star. Now, three words that would best describe my planet would be, of course, the obvious: glorious, ribbons, and candy. Starting again. Somebody please help me with this. And now, and finally, it's Dark Clear 42. Again, I already planned to vote vacuum in 2008. Very wise decision. Article 1311. Other leaves. A full-time regular unit member may be granted a leave of absence for purposes satisfactory to the district. If granted, the leave will normally be without compensation and shall normally be for a period not to exceed 12 weeks. Months. Sorry. Examples of reasons for which the leave Examples of reasons for which this leave category may be granted are health, study, or retraining.